Okay, so I'm picking up where I left off in class. This week I want to finish the radio lecture. This is about negotiating with radio stations, mostly with radio stations. The rep firms, you negotiate with them, but they have to go and negotiate with the stations. They're like your negotiator with the stations. So this is probably more about negotiating with the radio station. So just to repeat, for a for a national buy or buying a national network or multi-market buy that's local, you go to the sales force. Now let's see here. Hang on. Okay. So for a local buy, a national multi-market buy, advertiser goes to the national sales force or to the rep firm. The more dollars and the more months, the more leverage you have. Okay. And as with any medium, we've said this about print, we've said it about out of home, that if you're specific about the location you want, whether it's in a magazine or in a city, the more you're going to pay. So the more you want to run only prime time or only this or only that, only this program, the more you're going to pay. You can do something called run of station, ROS, where they will just stick you anywhere they have an opening. That's going to be the cheapest CPM you're going to get. And this is the case with the with magazines, with out of home, within their market, but all these media vehicles are fiercely competitive with whoever they perceive as their competition. And so if you're making a buy of a local radio station in a market, they know who they're competing with. They know who has a similar format, who has a similar audience, and that's their competition. And the salesperson's boss, the VP sales or the sales director, is after them all the time to get all the dollars in the market, not to let the other stations get anything. So you can use that competitiveness to your advantage when you negotiate. Just as with out of home, if they haven't sold their inventory, you can ask for bonus. There are two kinds of bonus. There's sort of time available or space available when it's out of home bonus, which means if we have it and we feel like giving it to you, we'll give it to you. Then there's guaranteed bonus, where which is different, obviously. It's guaranteed. Obviously, you want the guaranteed bonus. Um, Maybe you want, while you're negotiating and you've produced a spot, maybe you want to ask for some DJ reads on top of that. Um, there may be some local in-market events, some experiential marketing that the radio station does, which they can include you in, doing a live broadcast from, the Walmart before July 4th. Maybe that you fit into that somehow. Lots of times, all these local media companies will end up having sports tickets because they'll barter many times. They'll let the local team have some proportion of free ads, and they'll pay for it with tickets. And so they may have some really good sports tickets, and you can use it when you visit the city. If you have local clients in the city, you could take them out to the ball game. So there are things to ask for. You're not going to get as much creativity, I don't think, as you will when you're negotiating with a magazine company in terms of value added, but there are some things that you might be able to get. Now, after you sign a contract, they're guaranteeing a certain number of impressions. They're guaranteeing this X many impressions for you, X many rating points in the contract. And if the ratings come in lower, they have to make it up to you. So they'll give you what's called a make good. Um, Now, if you have a time constrained promotion, that's not going to do you much good. So you better be, if you do have time constraint, you better really be tracking the ratings and making sure you get what you deliver. And what you contracted, and if for some reason you don't, you're going to get your money back. You don't want to make good in a month. Doesn't do you any good. Your promotion's over. If they come up short, like that little kid behind the fire hydrant, they've got to make it up to you if that's in the contract. Now, we want to talk about creative now. I'm going to stop here and we're going to look at, I'll find this video. Well, it's really a recording, there's not too much video, which makes this point about theater of the mind. So please watch it.